All right, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope you had a good weekend. Today's Monday. It's the week of the Super Bowl's coming up Sunday. I'm still up in the air if I'm going to watch it or not. But I do have a new name for the NFL. From now on, I want it to be known as the National Football Entertainment League because really that's what it is. They try to give us some entertainment. They try to give us good games, but at the end of the day, the outcome is already predicted. It's already predetermined, and just kind of like WWE. So let's refer to it as the National Football Entertainment League from this day moving on. So anyway, I see over the last 4 or 5 days, Aaron Glenn has been putting together his coaching staff. I watched his press conference, or one of them the other day, 3 or 4 days ago, whatever it was, where he gave us a new slogan, buckle up, it's going to be a ride, or come for the ride, or some kind of shit like that. I can't remember what it was exactly. I just hope that it's no more slogans like all gas, no brakes. It was mostly all brakes, no gas. We're kind of, as Jet fans, we're kind of beyond the old little slogans. There's little catchphrases. We want to see some results, and you can keep your phrases and your little catchphrases or whatever you want to call them. I don't want to hear any of that shit anymore. Buckle up, here it comes. Get ready for the ride. We've been there before. We've been there many times before, exactly. So, in order for us to get all buckled up and ready for the big ride the Jets are going to have next season, I just want to go over a couple of the guys he's put in place for his coaching staff. I took some notes down, so I'm just going to kind of briefly read off of them. If I make any mistakes, feel free to leave a comment below. Hey, that's not right, or that's a mistake or something, because I always appreciate it. I'm not right all the time. I'm hardly right ever any of the time. So anyway, so far what we have now is we have a fellow called and I'm going to go over these guys in a little bit of detail as I go on, as I name them. We have a guy called named Tanner Engstrand. He's going to be our offensive. He's going to be in charge of running our offense. He was the passing game coordinator for the Detroit Lions, so Glenn has some familiarity with him. He knows them, probably they're friends, so he probably feels good adding a guy that he worked with alongside of him in Detroit. They also have added Steve Hayden as the offensive line coach. He was a tight ends coach before. I don't know what team he was, but okay, offensive line coach. He was a tight ends coach, so I guess the two somehow make sense. Sean Jefferson is going to be our wide receivers coach, and I think, actually, I'm quite sure that he has been with the team since Adam Gase era, so he might be the only guy keeping his job here on the coaching staff. He's doing a good job because he's been around a long time, so he's sticking around. They're adding Steve Wilks as the defensive coordinator, which is a pretty important position in my opinion. He was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers in 2023. Now, this Wilks guy's been around a long time. I think he's been with 4 or 5 different teams in the last 67 years. So I always wonder about somebody who gets mulled around like that, goes from team to team. Either he's not doing a good job on the teams he's with, or he's always looking for a better team, better future, better thing. But I don't know. Moving around a lot to me is a red flag on somebody like that. But we'll see how that works out. They have Eric Washington as the defensive line coach. He was a defensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears, so he does have a little bit of experience with that. Let's see. We have Aaron Curry. I don't know who that is. Linebackers coach. He was an inside linebackers coach with the Steelers. I do remember his name. I don't know much about his history, but they somehow pried him out away from Pittsburgh to work with Aaron Glenn as his linebackers coach. They have Chris Harris as defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator. I don't know why. I don't know what that even why, but he was a defensive pass game coordinator and cornerback coach for the Tennessee Titans. That's a lot of words to say in that sentence. I guess, I don't know, I'll have to look and see what he's even done in the past, what kind of resume he has. And somebody named Chris Banjo as a special teams coordinator, which I always thought is a very important spot on the team. I mean, every spot is important on the team, don't get me wrong, but special teams sometimes wins games. And he comes from, he was the assistant special teams coach for Denver Broncos. never been a special teams coordinator himself, but at least I guess he was an assistant, so maybe he got a little bit of experience. I'm just going to breeze over a couple of my notes I took down. I want to go over this Tanner Engstrand and this Wilkes guy a little bit in more detail. These are going to be the guys who run our offense, basically run our defense. And here we go with Engstrand is a first-time NFL play caller. Okay, so now we have a first-time head coach. We have a first-time offensive coordinator. So good Jets. Way to go there. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I'm not saying he's going to be good. I'm just saying first-time coach, first-time coordinator. I'm sure there's more first-timers in there as we look down. I wrote down he has been an assistant for the Detroit Lions over the past few years, so I'm pretty sure that's why Glenn probably grabbed him. He's familiar with him. They're, like I say, probably friends, knows him. So he obviously has an obvious connection with Glenn. He also shared a quarterback room with Jets general manager Darren Mogi for a year at San Diego State in 2004. So this was probably a collaborative process to get this guy. They both kind of know him, the new GM. Aaron Glenn work with him, so they both know him. So they must feel pretty comfortable with him. But I do want to stress the point that he is a first-time play caller, so offensive coordinator. So I guess we'll have to see how that works. This Wilkes guy is an experienced NFL coach and likely the most notable addition to Glenn's staff, a former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals and Carolina Panthers. He most recently served as the 49ers defensive coordinator in 2023. I know he has probably the most experience of the coaches he's hired, but he has moved around quite a lot in the league, so we'll have to wait and see how that works out. As I said before, it's always a wonder to me, a guy who from year to year, every 2 years, he goes to a new team. I don't know, maybe it's not his fault necessarily, but it always raises a red flag to you. I guess we'll see how that works, because the defense, quite honestly, it needs some help. They were just falling apart at the seams once they got rid of Saleh. They weren't even a defense. They weren't even a top 10 defense, top 15 defense anymore, I don't think. They were just terrible at times. So it's going to take a lot to bring these guys back together. This Banjo guy is the special teams guy, which I think is like I said, is very important. Apparently he comes, we all know who Mike Westhoff is. He's an old Jet guy. He was a consultant for them, worked for them for years. So Mike Westhoff has a pretty good reputation with the Jets and the rest of the NFL, the NFL. Banjo is a former NFL safety. He played under Aaron Glenn in New Orleans and was seen as a protege of Westhoff's in Denver. But this is also going to be his first time as a special teams coordinator. So in other words, I mean, we have first-time coach, first-time offensive play caller, first-time special teams. So this is the Jets putting together somewhat of experience in the league in their positions, but never actually running the show in their specific job. So I don't know. This hasn't worked out very well in the past. I guess we'll see if it does this time. I'm just not too, I don't know. It doesn't excite me as much as it does other people, but I'm glad these guys are getting chances. They're getting opportunities. I just wish it wasn't with the Jets. I would rather have seen more experience as a special teams coordinator, not a first-time guy, a guy that's been there. Offensive coordinator, a guy that's been there and done it, not a guy who was pretty good as an assistant. He's Glenn's buddy. I'm not saying he's going to do a bad job. I hope he does. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more experience thrown into the thing. The Steve Hayden, I think I said he's the defensive ends coach. He's going to be their new offensive line coach. He was a tight ends coach. Hayden's a former tight end who did work as an assistant offensive line coach with the Arizona Cardinals in 2018. This is another new person in a new position. I don't think he's ever done this position before, so it's another new guy. They're also now Sean Jefferson. I mentioned it before. I did write down he has been on the staff since. He's the only holdover from the 2024 staff with our organization, and he did serve under Adam Gase as well. So he's the only guy who seems to be sticking around. Maybe he's got experience. Obviously, he's been doing the job. So maybe he's the only guy he's gonna escape the tornado of replacing everybody. Well, these last two positions I see, I think they were just recently added. Quarterback coach Charles London and a passing game coordinator Scott Turner. Scott Turner's name should ring a bell because he's the son of former NFL coach Norv Turner. Now, we all, if you've been watching football for any more than 10 or 15, 20 years, you know who Norv Turner is. He coached like every team in the league. He had some success. He had some failures, but that's who Scott Turner is. He is Norv Turner's son. Now, this London guy, Charles London, he doesn't have too good of a resume coming. It's drawn a lot of criticism, given both his limited and poor track record as a QB coach, having served as a running backs coach for 7 years with the Bears and Texans. I don't know how you become a QB coach when you're the running backs coach, but anyway, he took over the quarterback coach for the Falcons back in 2021. But apparently the job was short-lived as he spent just 2 seasons tutoring young signal caller Desmond Ridder and Josh Rosen. None of us even remember who he is now. From Atlanta, London had back-to-back one-year stints with the Titans and Seahawks, where he guided Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis, and Geno Smith. Now, under London, Tannehill was off to one of the worst starts of his career, throwing just 4 touchdowns to 7 interceptions before a season-ending injury put him on the shelf. The team then went to Will Levis, who completed just 58% of his passes while throwing 8 touchdowns in 9 starts. Meanwhile, in Seattle, London oversaw Geno Smith as he managed his highest interception total of 15 since throwing 21 as a rookie with the Jets. Threw 15 interceptions under this guy. That was his highest since 21 as a rookie with the Jets. With the Jets being London's 4th team in 5 years, he may be the guy who's supposed to tutor our new quarterback if we draft one, if we keep the one we have. I don't like this hire at all. This guy has a shitty track record. The quarterbacks under him, and most of them had experience, did terrible. We're going to trust this guy to tutor and bring up a brand new guy. Say the Jets draft Jackson Dart or something like that from Ole Miss. This guy's going to be our QB coach. I'm just already worried about that. He's done it before, and he's had a bad track record of doing it. This is a very, very unusual hire to me, and I don't like this hire at all. Of all the hires, I think this one probably is the worst. He's got no positive track record to show to hold this position. I just don't understand this at all. But with Norv Turner's son, he is a passing coordinator with a lot of experience that others on the staff lack, which a lot of them do lack experience in their specific positions they were hired for. Turner has 5 seasons as coordinator under his belt and 3 seasons as a coordinator. In 2016 with the Vikings, he managed to get quarterback Sam Bradford to play his best football as he completed over 71% of his passes to go along with 20 touchdowns and just 5 interceptions. Why isn't he quarterback? Why isn't he the quarterback coach or instead of the other guy? I don't understand that. Why isn't he that? I don't know. Maybe one guy can't do 2 jobs. I guess I don't know. Turner's output last season with the Raiders, as he went from pass game coordinator to offensive coordinator, left a bit to be desired with the Raiders. But it also could be added that the Raiders quarterback room wasn't very good at all. So. Like I say, I don't really know. A lot of these guys I don't know of. I had to look up and see what I could find on them. But I don't like the quarterback coach at all. I just don't understand why you're hiring a guy who has a terrible track record, even when he was dealing with veterans. I just don't understand it. If you want to ruin a new quarterback, the Jets is the place to come. And they'll do that for you. They'll put another kid out there and destroy him. So anyway, I'm kind of 50-50 with these hires. I'm not as excited as some other Jet fans may be. I like Aaron Glenn's his excitement, his enthusiasm. I do like that. But excitement and enthusiasm don't equal wins. Hiring the wrong people for the jobs doesn't equal wins either. And it looks to me like we've got a whole lot of that going on once again. So I don't know what to expect. But still, we have a lot of questions to be answered. Aaron Rodgers, what is he going to do? Because, we're all waiting on Aaron Rodgers to see what he wants to do. I would have already told him to hit the skids, look for another team. I'm sure somebody needs you. We don't. But I don't believe that the Jets are going to sit around and at a round table and decide on their own with their coaches what they're going to do. I think this is Aaron Rodgers' decision, what he's going to do once again. So anyway, I'm not too excited about these hires. I hate to be Mr. Negativity, but heard all this before. All gas, no brakes. Buckle up, come for the ride. You know, keep your slogans, man. I want to see some wins. I want to see something productive come out of this team, so they can draw themselves out of the bowels of the laughing stock of the NFL and do something with it. But let's see. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt, because you can't just automatically think they're going to be bad, because you won't even be looking forward to the season. I hope they all do well. I'm a little bit, I don't know. Some of them I think shouldn't be in the positions they're in, but who am I to say? So anyway, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of these coaching hires and Aaron Glenn moving forward. What do you think he's going to do with Aaron Rodgers, or what is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Yeah, just leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed my video. And as always, subscribe to my channel, please. It helps me out a lot. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the comments. I try to answer everybody's as I go. And anyway, have a great day, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Bye now.